You know, one thing you will definitely learn on the show is the complexity of human behavior. You will also learn the hypocrisy in what humans perceive as morality, good or bad, how people should conduct themselves and how they shouldn't. I listened to Nsuku and Mshini's conversation last night. At some point, Martha joined them and she had a lot to say. I listened to these girls talk about Uyanda. And guys, my God, it was weird to me. It was weird to me because, frankly speaking, it felt like they were speaking about themselves, especially Nsuku and Mshini. It felt like they were speaking about themselves. They were describing themselves to each other. Because everything they said, all the negatives they said about Uyanda, guys, that is exactly what they do in the house. That's exactly what they've been doing from the very get-go. That is how they have been carrying themselves, portraying themselves, conducting themselves in the house. See, guys, we're going to get into this video. I'll tell you all about it, all right? And then, of course, I will analyze the things they said, all right? And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Now, aside their conversation, there was Jojo that had a lot to complain about her lover, Ezra, to her friends, Tyrone and Swiss and Pilili. Yes, apparently Ezra had actually challenged her authority as head of house, and that had really upset her. And you know, 2 nights ago, something had actually happened. I did not talk about it because I wanted to observe more. So I think on this video, I would, really elaborate on all of these things that I have seen. So guys, watch this video to the end. Don't skip out on any part. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. You're welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, get right into the details of this video. About Uyanda, Nsuku was one that started off the conversation with Mshini, and her bone of contention with this young man is that he's now doing too much. That was her emphasis. He's now doing too much. He's now doing too much. And by too much, she means that his confidence level, has grown so much to the point that he has now become overly defensive. Ever since he started speaking up for himself, ever since he found his voice, he's now doing too much. He's too defensive. Mshini said he has now become disrespectful, that he doesn't know, that sometimes he doesn't filter what he says. He just says what he wants to say. They were painting different scenarios. One in particular that Mshini pointed out was that one day Uyanda was sitting with her and BK was coming, and Uyanda now said, let me stand up so that BK does not kill me. On a normal day, those are jokes that these housemates throw around the house. So how Mshini picked offense and called that disrespectful, guys, it beats me. I don't understand, because she says worse. I mean, these same girls, they complain about Ashley clinging to Sweet Gulliver all the time, especially Mshini. So a joke that Uyanda made, I was quite confused how that was disrespectful. For Nsuku, she was not very, very specific about how Uyanda really, really offended her to make her jump to that conclusion. For her, that is her own observation of the guy, So they went on, and even later on, Martha joined them, and they continued emphasizing on those things that they were mentioning. And guys, if you had listened to that conversation, the key takeaway is that they don't like this new Uyanda that is now pretty much self-aware. They don't like this new Uyanda that is now bold, that is now vocal, that is now audacious. They don't like this new Uyanda that is no longer a pushover. They don't like this new Uyanda that does not accept intimidation in any form or measure anymore. They preferred the old Uyanda that was pretty much quiet, very quiet, kind of always shrinking for everybody to trample on him. So now that this guy is pretty much vocal, stands for himself and challenges anybody that tries to intimidate him or make him feel less of himself, they don't like him anymore. Nsuku was saying that she doesn't even sit with him anymore. Mshini said the same thing. Martha said the same. They said they don't like him anymore. They don't like him anymore. So I listened to that whole conversation, and as much as it was quite annoying, to hear all the things that they were spewing out of their mouth, another thing I could sense was jealousy. Yeah. It was very obvious that these people were envious of this young man. They were quite envious. The fact that he is who he is, and then when he is nominated, he survives eviction. He doesn't get to go home. You could also sense that Nsuku was being calculative. On different occasions, when Nsuku has been up for eviction, Uyanda has equally been up for eviction, and they both survived. Yeah. And once again, they are up for eviction with other people. So with the venom with which Nsuku was saying all of those things, I wasn't just listening to what she was saying. I was listening to what wasn't said, which was that she felt threatened by these guys' existence in that house. The fact that Uyanda is now really bold, she can sense that viewers are liking his personality. And for her, it was to go on that smear campaign and ensure that people no longer stood by his side or supported him in arguments. In fact, they were saying that, all the fights that he has been in the house, they were all unnecessary. They were all avoidable. I said, oh, wow, really? 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 Because, guys, if you think about it, these girls, they have been in, Nsuku especially, they've been in multiple fights in this house. And the same things they were complaining about Uyanda are the same things that they were doing and still doing. So why is it that Uyanda is now standing up for himself? And that's a problem for these people. So guys, I don't know what you make of it, but for me, listening to those girls, it was just very annoying what they were saying, because it's like they were just completely describing themselves. What they see in Uyanda is what they have been doing, how they have been standing up for themselves. When we talk about self-defense, guys, we know that Mshini especially has really done more than Uyanda to defend herself. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about that. Moving on finally to Jojo's complaints about a lover, Ezra, to her friends, Tyrone and Swiss, and Pilili was there as well listening. She was quite upset and offended at the way it seemed like Ezra was trying to challenge her authority. She cited an example in the kitchen where they were pulling off their task of preparing bread, and Ezra was sort of embarrassing her in front of people. She was quite offended with it, and I think there was something else that had happened, and she felt like Ezra was trying to control her, basically teach her how to lead. And guys, everything she was saying, I did not witness it for myself, because of course the camera does not show us everything, but there had been a conversation between Ezra and Jojo 2 nights ago, and my God, guys, that conversation was so annoying. That's Ezra's reaction in that conversation. He was catching up with her about her day. How's your day been? Tell me how you feeling, your first proper day as head of house. And Jojo took out time to be expressing how she felt, giving him details about her day. And the guy was looking at her, acting like he was actually paying attention, but he wasn't. Because the moment his guy friends, Sipali and Melino, came out of the house, they were on the other side of the pool. This guy just started shouting, Melino, Melino, and he was talking to his guy friends. And Jojo was still talking, but this guy was shouting with his friends and he was laughing for a good 5 minutes. He was still interacting with his friends. And then, after making all the noise, he now turned to look at Jojo and said, oh, yeah, what were you saying? Guys, that was so fucked up. That was so annoying. On Jojo's behalf, I was so freaking irritated. I was so pissed. Because on a normal day, if somebody were to do that to me, I definitely know how it feels. Not to talk of someone that has been professing love and affection to you for weeks now, telling you how much he's crazy about you, how much he likes you, he loves you even. And then you're telling him about your day because he asked, and then he does that, making it look like what you were saying does not even make sense at all. Guys, that was so aggravating. And Jojo too was so upset about it, but she kept quiet. And then was like, oh, wait, what were you saying? What were you saying? And she was like, oh, nothing, don't worry. And I was like, no, tell me. She was like, no, nothing. He now told her that, oh, you're probably stressed. You need to rest. You're stressed out. You need to rest. I think you're even doing too much. You need to rest. So he was telling her that she was doing too much. And guys, I'm going to be frank with all of you. In a way, he was right. Jojo was kind of doing too much. Yes, I told you all on my previous video that I have an observation about how Jojo was leading as head of house. That was what I was going to tell you all. That it seems like Jojo is, like she's too hands-on on hygiene and food and kitchen, kitchen runs, that they are not really giving that much attention to the preparation for their wager task presentation, which is set to happen this evening. Last night, she was so tired of all the wahala and all the challenges and all the tasks they had during the day. She said, since now people don't want to come out to rehearse, if they like, they should fail the wager. I'm like, oh, wow. So do you want your head of house reign to be remembered for the house just being clean, people having order when it comes to food? But then when it comes to the wager, you don't win it. How do you want people to remember you? So she went on and on, ranting and complaining about Ezra. And I like the fact that Tyrone asked her if she had had a conversation with Ezra. She said yes. For everything she complained about, Tyrone had asked her if she had called Ezra's attention and if they had talked about it. And she said yes, that she wasn't going to do that again, but she just felt disrespected by him. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because this is where I'm going to stop talking, all right? If there's anything else today, I would let you know on another video. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.